Hey, howdy, hey, people of the internet. This is Wolfman 407 Dash coming to you from a very cold flat because my boiler's been playing up. It's been making a lot of bang noises and it's been declared unusable or whatever you like to call it. Um, so yeah, I'm just without heating and hot water for a little while. Could really use with that fire flower right now. Which brings us on to today's topic. So, with the Mario movie, not the one with Bob Hoskins in it, the new one with Chris Pratt, doing really well at the box office and in reviews in some areas, I thought it'd be time to talk about a topic that people have been talking about regarding Nintendo and how they would go about films. And that topic is cinematic universes. So we already know there's a lot of cinematic universes out there. You all know the Marvels, the DCs, and all the other stuff. And the big question a lot of people have is, could Nintendo do better, or could they do, or more accurately, could they do it? Would they want to do it, and how they would do it? So to start with, Super Mario isn't the only franchise Nintendo owns, or at the very least has the rights to. It's also got Legend of Zelda, F Zero, Metroid, Kirby, Kid Icarus, Fire Emblem, Star Fox, Pikmin, probably missing a few, Punch Out, and many loads of things. And I think, to be honest, while most of them could work, like I know the Mario franchise has got spin-offs that include WarioWare, Donkey Kong Country, Captain Toad, Super Princess Peach, Luigi's Mansion, and other stuff. There's just so many different out there, so diverse and all sorts that it's just a question of how they would do it. Like, of course, in the Mario movie, spoilers for those who have not seen it yet. I'll just give you guys a moment. Okay, spoiler territory. So, in the Mario movie, it's established that there's a pipe that when they go into the pipe from Brooklyn to the Mushroom Kingdom, there's like multiple different areas they can go to across the different dimensions and so forth. So that could be expanded upon to include the other Nintendo properties, but how they would go about it is another matter. But if it were up to me, I'd love to do like different franchises, not just strictly Mario, but different franchises, and then maybe move on to move them all together, somehow bring them all together to create a Smash Brothers movie. So one way that could work is if they used Master Hand and Crazy Hand to suddenly pick all these characters up from their different worlds, bring them into a tournament, and then they all fight each other to try and escape, and all that. As dark as that sounds. So I guess really how they go about it is just to see how the Man movie goes, because it is still currently in cinemas. It's not out on DVD or Blu-ray yet, as far as I know, places. And obviously, if they do want to do a cinematic universe, they'll need to establish their own rules, how the formula works, and all that jazz. And because it's a video game company, first and foremost, they have to not lose sight of video games as they do make the cinematic universe. It'd be cool if they did make a cinematic universe, but we don't know if they will. I mean, most cinematic universes that have been made since Marvel have tried, and some have had some success, others not so much. So, for example, DC, who are obviously Marvel's main competitor, they tried their best with the DC Extended Universe, and although they did have a time when lots of their films were doing really well, it goes without saying that they didn't start off brilliantly, and they didn't have, and most of their big major hitting films were not as good as they come. Like, for example, Man of Steel just felt too generic. Batman v Superman could have just been worked on much better, and is one of those films that definitely have been built up to. And Justice League, well, we all know how that played out. Joss Whedon took over and just changed everything and just made it feel a bit inconsistent with the rest of the DCEU at that point. Also, the first Suicide Squad, which, as far as I'm aware, has got another cut, like a director's cut, but it's again like with Zack Snyder's Justice League, it's down to Warner Bros. If they want to release that cut or not. But it's probably unlikely that we'll get that cut. So a good cinematic universe needs its rules. A good cinematic universe needs to have some kind of consistency. And the thing that makes some cinematic universes work more than others is if you compared Marvel to DC have a bit more creative freedom over what they can do, as long as they have like small minor references to each other's films and the universe, it's fine. And you obviously consistency, use the same actors and actresses and yada yada yada. And Marvel are a bit more strict in that they have to follow the same formula. So modern world, but having comic book characters and just try a bunch of different stories and see what works. That's pretty much cinematic universe in a nutshell. Own rules, own characters, and the rest is it. And the rest you do what you want with. I think. My knowledge of cinematic universes isn't the greatest. I know it's like they all share the same universe and all that, so yeah. Gone are the days where things were simple, where it was like Toy Story 1, Toy Story 2, Toy Story 3, Toy Story 4, and obviously Toy Story 5. Now you got all these different films that are like trying to make it all complicated, and it's wonderful. I mean, it's a great thing to see, having all these different films in the same universe together, but sometimes you just want a break. Like every year now, we're always getting at least one Marvel or DC thing released, and it just feels like they're doing too much. But anyway, back to Nintendo. Nintendo can do it. I'm sure they can do it. It's just a matter of if they want to go through with this or not, because we all know that they were quite hesitant about licensing their characters out to different studios after what happened with the first Super Mario movie, the one starring Bob Hoskins. But I think for now, I think it's best that them and Illumination work on these spin-offs and sequels, because the first Mario film did really well, so no doubt Nintendo will want to make more. And whether they want to make more films based on their other properties, well, we'll just have to see. Whether it's in a cinematic universe or not, it would just be great to see Legend of Zelda on the big screen, F-Zero on the big screen, Star Fox, and all the others. Not Pokemon though, because Pokemon has had a lot of films, like loads of films, and it's popular enough as it is to be its own separate thing. Obviously, most people know that Nintendo do have an ownership of Pokemon, but they don't have like complete ownership, like compared to their other properties. Seeing a Fire Emblem film, anime or otherwise, would be good. Or even a Legend of Zelda anime film, whatever, that'd be good too. Lots of possibilities, and all these franchises are beloved, have their fan bases, and most of the ones that they have can be made into films. Others maybe say for like short films. Pikmin, for example, or great series of games that really sort of make you think a lot. But to have a feature film about that, I'm not sure. A short film maybe with good animation, but who knows? I don't think there's anything else I can say. I guess another thing they could do is maybe do a sort of biopic of some of the big people in Nintendo, like the late Satoru Iwata, the Mario's very own creator Shigeru Miyamoto, Sakurai, who created the Kid Icarus, Kirby, and Smash Bros. Games. I'd love to see biopics of those particular people. But yeah, we'll just see how things go with Nintendo. Just see how things go with the Mario movie, and who knows? Maybe we will get a series of films featuring all these different Nintendo properties at some point. Whether it's by Universal or another studio is another matter, but it'll more than likely be by Universal because they basically have Super Nintendo Land in their theme parks and were the ones that helped Shigeru Miyamoto get in touch with the guy that runs Illumination to make the Mario movie. So yeah, I think I've ranted on long enough. So thank you so much for watching once again. Please like, comment, and subscribe. If you get a chance to also check out my other fellow YouTubers, if you can. You can see all their channels on my channel in the sort of section where it says fellow YouTuber friends. And they do all sorts of stuff, like Clank Soka does DVD walkthroughs, film reviews, animations, and all sorts. Also one of the few that still does YouTube poops, believe it or not. Perfect Paddock, who does Formula 1 stuff, if you're into Formula 1, and Delta FZNDF. His one's in the description. Anyway, he does gameplay videos like me, but with a focus on Star Wars and Payday. So yeah, that's it. I'll see you in the next one. And whatever happens with Nintendo, I hope they do well with whatever decision they make regarding the films. If they go through with it, great. If they don't, well, they had their opportunity and they made the decision and left it there. The games are still good though, so we've got those. So yes, so thank you again. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.